It's Wednesday. Stay tuned.
Yo, what is up, guys? My name is Thomas Wicker. Welcome back to the Superdwarf Show.
I'm Garrett Hartle, your hostess with the mostest, your goof with the truth.
You're
No, wrong channel.
jittery.
Sorry.
Hold on, I might need to.
Why am I so jittery over here?
Is it because of the coffee?
It probably is. Probably my coffee. Way too jittery. Coffee is good, though. You gotta love coffee. You guys are gonna get to love coffee tonight. We'll tell you about that in a second. Thomas, do we have the snake cam?
We have the snake cam?
We have a snake
Let's double check
cam.
that. Let's double check that.
Check the snake cam out. Got our little holding tank.
Snake cam. Yeah, it's centered over your coffee right now.
It's on my coffee?
Yeah. You're gonna have to move
The
it.
coffee cam.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about the
Right
coffee.
now it's the coffy cam. All right.
All right. The snake's going to go crazy because
There
there's
you
like
go.
super hot coffee right next to her. We've got a little snake to name tonight. This is pretty cute. This is going to be at the end of the show. If you guys stick around, you'll be able to vote on the name of this little beautiful girl. She has gone way too long without a name. So this girl was hatched over at Nathan Katz's house. And the dad belonged to our very own G.I. Joe. She's almost 2 years old, and I almost didn't keep this snake.
Move her to the right a little bit. There you go. Perfect.
I almost didn't keep this snake. She's double het, purple and annery. She's only 50% Superdwarf, but obviously you can tell she's staying nice and small for a near 2-year-old. And look at this food lump, guys. Rob fed today. She's all stretched out. Anyway, she's a beautiful girl. We'll pull her back out. You guys can stick around to the end of the show, and remind me in the comments, and I'll tell you why we ended up holding this one back. It's kind of a fun story and a chance for me to jag with some of my friends because it's a fun story to tell. Nothing to do with Nathan Katz. We like Nathan Katz. We won't jag with him. This haircut I got from Nathan at Tinley Park is holding up beautifully. I texted him earlier. I said this is probably one of my favorite haircuts that I have had in a long time.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it looks good.
Looks good. It's holding
it
up.
looks good.
Easy to style. You know, it's funny. You know, I usually do the whole like super cuts thing or whatever, or sports clips
cuts.
if I go with my kids.
Coolest cuts on the block.
Yeah, they like that. But the haircuts just don't hold up that well compared to the professionals.
Here's the thing, man. If you have to hand out so many, they always give you like 1 million coupons. If you have to hand out 1 million coupons to get people to walk in your store, what's that say about your store?
It's kind of like the people that immediately offer you 50% off of a snake that you're trying to buy because they say they like you. You're like, I think you had some padded value in there.
Exactly. Well,
that's one tactic. We're actually going to be talking about business stuff tonight too, so we can get into that.
Oh, yeah.
We can get into that. What is your guys' opinion, real quick, those of you early adopters on the stream tonight? I would love to see, are you in the camp where, you know, I mean, you know that this is happening. So let's say somebody puts a price on something that's $1,000, but then they really only need to get $500 out of it and they let you whittle them down? Or would you rather buy from somebody like that because you like to kind of wheel and deal? Or do you prefer the tactic where they're like, no, this is $500. That's my best price. I whittled myself down and the snake is worth every penny. So it's $500. You don't get anything off and you have to pay shipping because that's a solid price. You know what I mean? Kind of the two extremes. Do you like the fluff side where you can negotiate or the non-negotiables?
I can't tell you that one, but I can tell you, people are starting to chime in. I was going to say somebody likes sport clips. They do like.
Yeah. Sports Clips is good.
Great.
I go there with our boys.
Cats.
Yeah, the Garrison and Finley, when they go in with me, like, are you going to Sports Clips? Can I come with you? Because they like the whole, you know, kind of treatment or whatever to get their little head massaged and chatted up with the ladies. Both my boys are hopeless flirts. Have you seen it before? Finley or Garrison pulling moves on girls?
I've heard about it. I've heard about his little date fiascos and like little girlfriends.
Yeah,
you're always giving him advice.
My favorite. I'm gonna embarrass my son right now live.
Yeah, he won't realize till he's like 10 years down the road.
Dad. So like Garrison was quite a bit younger. He's 9 years old right now. 8
I
years
don't know,
old.
dude.
I have to
Only
look
know
for
your age.
Come on, Thomas, help me out here.
Only know your age. You
He's
told
9
him
years
he would
old
get
now. When he was
diarrhea.
about 6, when he
Told
was
me to get diarrhea at 7, so he's probably 8.
yeah, right. That's true. That was a mean one too. Boy, so many Garrett being a bad dad stories. But there was one where we like lost him at the playground at the park, and I'm looking everywhere for him, and all the other kids are climbing all like through the tubes and everything. It's easy to like lose sight of your kid.
Ashley says he's 8, by the way.
But he wasn't in there. Thank you, Ashley. But he wasn't in the tubes. So I go looking for him. I can't find him anywhere. And there's this circle of girls hanging out, like high school, junior high girls or something like that. And he had long hair at the time. They're like playing with his hair and braiding it. And he's laying back in there like, oh, yeah.
That's how you know.
He had been missing for like a half an hour. And I was like, I came over and I was like, ladies, is this guy bothering you? And they're like, no, he's so cute. And they had like boys with them that were like, yeah, he's getting all the attention. He's kind of bothering me if you could get him out of here. And I'm like, come on, Garrison, let's go. And he goes, it's time for me to leave, ladies. You know,
man.
Blowing him kisses goodbye. And he walks over. And I was like,
son.
Garrison, you got to tell me when you like run away from the playground. You can't just go that. And he's like, Dad, I would have told you, but I mean, come on. High school girls.
High school girls.
I got pull. I'm 5 years old, 6 years old, and I'm hanging with like 10 high school girls.
I mean, good for him.
Boy, that was quite a rant off the side.
Well,
let's pull it back in.
Well, we have another giveaway.
We have a giveaway. We have a pretty exciting giveaway. So this week's giveaway is brought to you by Cold Blooded Caffeine. Pretty fun company.
Yeah, it's Trey Hall and McKendrick. Crap, I only wrote their first name down. McKendrick.
McKendrick Dunn.
Yes. So they produce some high quality coffee with a conservation mindset. So, and they have some really cool like themed YouTuber coffee bags. So the giveaway is 4 bags of cold-blooded caffeine.
Your guys' choice.
Bags.
You can pick whatever kind of coffee you like. You get 4 bags, and there's some other stuff.
You get a tumbler to drink that amazing YouTuber coffee. They also have more than just YouTuber coffee, but that was the first thing I knew. And then you also get this really sick hat. Let me flash a picture of all that actually.
Yeah, let's see it. Let's see it.
Here. Yeah, there's a picture of the giveaway. Super sick hat. I actually love their logo. Like, I've never tried their coffee. Like you said earlier, it's coffee, man. You're gonna love it. But
well, you get to choose. You get to choose what kind you like. The basket is worth $140, and if you want to win, all you got to do is be present in our little after party that we have with the patrons.
Mm-hmm.
So how do they join Page? If they wanted to jump on real quick, how much does it cost?
The after party is any tier. It's $5 a month. You can hit the link in our description and join that. We have a ton of exclusive content, live streams, giveaways,
fun from companies like Cold Blooded Caffeine. So you guys have to go check them out, and you see all the flavors they have on there. They got a bunch, like you said, the YouTuber sponsored flavors, like which flavor of their roasted coffee is best.
I kind of want to try the Snake Discovery one.
Yeah. See, I wonder if it like
got a cool bag.
If you were like the ultimate pet tuber YouTuber watcher, how cool would it be to have a cup of Snake Discovery coffee
I want to try
while you watch their episode, and then you could watch a different episode from someone else and have their coffee?
You know who I want to try? I want to try.
You want to see what Brian Cusco's coffee tastes like? Does he have a flavor on there?
No, I'm just saying, like, if
you just want to taste Brian Cusco. That's weird.
I was dancing around.
That's kind of weird. You weren't gonna say it, but I
listen, man, it's Brian Cusco. It makes sense. But, man, we had a lot going on this week.
Based on that time I tried to throw him in the pool, it didn't work. He probably tastes like coconut oil.
Oh, do you taste him?
No,
so you actually have real confidence.
No, I just felt it. I understand his viscosity.
So you would say he's really smooth.
Oily.
Really? Gross.
Sorry, guys. We're getting way off. Let's bring it back in. So how about that Moschino versus Orange Glow episode last week?
Yeah, what'd you guys think of that one? That one was definitely wasn't a breakaway from what we do. It was actually super in our lane, but it was a different format.
Yeah, a little different format. It was really fun to have. Me and Rob were just chilling up here, kind of debating.
Hey, we have Cold-Blooded Caffeine in the chat. What's going on?
What's up, guys? Yeah, it was fun having Rob here with me. We're debating our favorite snakes. And so it was obviously, I mean, the idea was to showcase what the snake, those forms of albino do.
Yeah.
But also just debate it based on our opinions alone, which was kind of fun. And then we asked for your guys' feedback, and we did some polls like on Patreon and stuff like that, and then on our Instagram as well,
and in the live stream or the live premiere.
And the Mochino pulled ahead. It was like, I remember one was like, I think it was the Patreon one. It was like 56, in favor of Mochino. So fairly evenly split, but Mochino pulled ahead. But oh my goodness, if you read the comments of people that watched that episode after the premiere,
the aggressive people fighting,
it was like 100% Mochino.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Everyone's like, #Rob is right. Mochino, not Orange Glow.
Well, so here's my mildly ignorant opinion. Ignorant meaning I don't like. I've never bred.
You don't like
I've
either
never
of
owned.
them? Is that what you were
I don't like either. I'm just kidding. No, but I was gonna say like Mochino for me seems like one of those things that it's very visual. It's very obviously pretty, and you can do cool stuff with it. Orange Glow seems like one of those things like an artisan. You have to appreciate it for what it does and the subtleties. You know what I mean? And the Mochino's like too obvious. Too many people like it. You know what I mean? It's like the Marvel movies. Everyone likes it, but like a movie connoisseur is gonna be like, pacing sucks. Like,
No comment.
No comment. You'll just have to go watch the video.
Really good.
You'll have to go watch the video.
That sounded like a good assessment.
You'll have to go watch the video.
Being
to make
the
your own
movie
assessment.
connoisseur, I don't want to pick your thing apart, but
I'm not a movie connoisseur.
It sounded really good. No, I'm just saying like I'm the Mochino versus Orange Glow.
Which one did you pick again? You like the Mochino?
I was arguing in favor of the Orange Glow.
Orange Glow.
So the truth is this, and we can
Uphill
tell you,
battle.
we can tell you guys this live. I said, "Hey Rob, we're gonna do a Mochino versus Orange Glow. Which one's your favorite?" He's like, "Mochino, duh." And I was like, "Okay, I'll take Orange Glow."
Yeah, you picked one by necessity.
Yeah,
your life's calling.
But the truth of it is this: theatrics aside, I love both of them for different reasons. Actually, none of the reasons you just mentioned.
But if you want to hear those reasons, you'll have to go watch the video. We also skipped the vlog this week, so if you guys were disappointed about that, don't be disappointed. We have a really cool episode coming up.
No, it's because we put a little extra effort into the next week's vlog.
And we have a little teaser for you.
This is pretty fun.
All right.
This is Thomas's shining moment. I want you guys to all focus very much on Thomas in this clip.
Well, they can see both of us, but they can also... Ready? All right, here we go. What happens when you take two famous animal keepers to a reptile convention to select their dream pet collection? In this video, we're gonna find out. In order to do this, we have Tyler Ruggie and M from M Exotic at Tinley and RBC picking their absolute favorite animals. And at the end, we're gonna let you guys have a chance to actually vote on who you think picked the better animals. So that was probably the most YouTuber-y I've ever been on camera. There was a lot of scripting that was involved.
I liked it.
Like, it was super fun. I enjoyed the final product. When you're trying to think of all the elements, you're like, wow, there's so many things at play. But once you put it all together, it like gets me excited to watch my own video that I spent 20 hours looking at.
What do you guys in the chat think? Let us know. Did you like that? Was that a video you would watch? You're going to have to go over to Wild World TV on Saturday if you want to see the whole thing. And getting Tyler and M in there is pretty fun. But I thought Thomas did pretty good. He was bringing the energy, doing all the things that YouTubers got to do.
You know what? I think you've been pretty good at lately?
What?
Is this whole like set design thing. You're always coming up to me with these ideas like...
This set design?
This set design, yeah. So, like, as you know, we've been doing some Super Chat stuff. I'm going to pop this camera wide so I can show you what we got going on.
Yeah, so if you guys want to jump in here and Super Chat throughout this episode,
I was just going to say,
that will help us to continue to build it out. Well, this lamp is our special guest. He's chilling in this chair over here. Yeah, you got the stage. I literally built out of that shipping container floor. We're getting stuff set up so that when we do some wider angle stuff, we'll have some fun in here. And I found this at like an antiques place downtown Pittsburgh. Went down there with my in-laws this weekend and we found this. Probably spent too much money on it. Definitely went over the budget that was provided from your guys' generous Super Chats. But I liked it. It just needs to be hung on the wall. Doesn't quite look right sitting in our VIP guest
yeah,
of
you know
honor
what that
chair.
lamp looks like? It looks like it's like in the therapy chair. Like it's the
Yes.
therapy couch.
Well, he thought he was going to end up somewhere much nicer than here, but now he's got to deal with me.
He's having a hard time dealing
Sorry
with it.
there, buddy.
Yep.
So, but no, I like it. We need some different elements in the background.
A cool bulb in there. It looks really fancy. So
anything that you guys super chat in this week, what is that going to go towards?
That is going towards our background.
Back here.
Yeah, the wall. So as you've seen,
I won this at US Arc.
Yeah, here, let me go.
I think I won this at a US Arc auction too.
It's all kind of hodgepodge right now, but
and
with
we've
your
just
guys'
got the white
support,
office wall. We need something, I think, a little darker and moodier, maybe with some texture to hang this bad boy on.
Mm-hmm.
So any of your guys' support towards the Superdwarf Show, we love it. We appreciate it. We thank you guys very much. If you want to super chat in with a question, comment, whatever you guys want to say, we'll kind of stop the show and say what's up, and Thomas will call you out on there, and we'll work towards our next thing.
So we actually
starting to build it out. It's kind of looking. What do you guys think? We got the stage, it's kind of looking cool.
It's really exciting to see how far it's coming. You can a little set thing, sneak peek. If you guys are really Zoom connoisseurs, you can see our upcoming videos. So if you see anything on there that's exciting, then
what happened?
I realized just now that we're leaking our schedule.
How's that?
This is our to-do list of videos.
Oh, you've got the camera behind you.
Yes, I have a webcam behind.
Oh, gotcha.
So, these are all our secrets.
You need to click the little blur the background feature there, my guy. There you go. Flip them all over. Now you have a dark, moody background. Look at that. Didn't even cost anything. All right. Very cool. Well, for one, I love the vlogs that you've got putting together for the next couple of Saturdays. So that's pretty cool over on the Wild World TV channel. I think it's pretty exciting stuff. And once we get this back wall going, guys, this is a set that we can use for all kinds of stuff, even beyond the Superdwarf Show. This room in particular, I'm pretty happy with. It's really helping us to up our game, having dedicated sets that we can just quickly, bam, turn it on. How long did you take to prep to film this?
It was a little longer. It took me maybe
physical setup.
Oh, it was like 20 minutes, maybe,
if that. Yeah. So whereas normally we're pulling all kinds of things together and stuff like that. So this helps us.
Hey Tim, what's up?
Jump right in
and
into
the show,
it.
man.
Hey Tim, come on over. Say hi to Tim, everybody. What are you doing here? You're supposed to be home by now.
I came for my phone charger. I forgot my phone.
Came for the phone charger, stayed for the Superdwarf Show.
Yeah, that's it. Hold on. Mochino versus Orange Glow.
Mochino, yeah, for sure.
Oh, man,
I like
siding
Mochinos
with
better.
Rob.
Every
time.
I don't know. I like Mochino.
All right, get out of here. Go get your phone charger. Oh, man. All right, so what are we talking about tonight here, Thomas?
Oh, so
now that I'm defeated,
we have
which way,
we have
let loose
3 super chats, by the way. Gonna give them a quick shout out.
Let's do it.
Morph Mixology with $5. Hey, Retic dudes, I'm getting my life force sucked out of me so I can afford a Superdwarf someday.
Do it.
Aren't we all, man?
Do it.
Unless your name's Thomas, and that's relevant.
Bring it.
JL Junior Gania Gahaka, $15, helping with the studio. Remember to hit the like. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that support.
You're in here literally every week.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your support on Patreon.
If I had to, I'm not gonna say this is factual, but if I had to say it was at least top 3 supporter, you would be number 2 at least, not number 1.
Number 1 for enthusiasm.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
And Grant Marsh, get moody with the background. $5. Thank you so much. And then we
Grant.
got another $10 from Susie Sweat Lewis. Thank you guys so much for your
Susie.
support. It's going a long ways towards helping us make this into something that's gonna be really
Susie's
cool.
from Ship Your Reptiles. We've been talking
Susie,
a lot
that's
lately.
Susie. Hey, Susie.
Blue-haired Susie.
It's not just random Susie from the internet.
See you later, Tim.
And Zach with the $5. Any updates on the care guide you announced earlier this year? We will answer all of your questions, your super chat questions later on in the show, but we will come back to that. And then Damien with the $1. Thank you so much, guys.
Wait, that was just one question.
Well, there's one in there, but when it comes through, whatever, we can take time to answer a question. Any updates on the care guide?
Yeah, it's coming together. If you guys watch the video on it, my dad is the illustrator. He's finishing up the last final illustrations, and then we'll start distributing it. I'm hesitant to state a date because every time I do, it takes twice as long. So if I say nothing, hopefully we'll get it by the end of this year.
A watch pot never boils. I mean, that's a saying, man. I just slid it in there and you laughed at me.
No, I was laughing at myself because I slid it in there too.
Oh, I got you.
You guys can, ponder that one.
Mm-hmm.
But so we want to talk today about kind of breaking into the reptile industry, making a difference.
Mm-hmm. How to be successful, but if success is a metric of like your impact, not just money. So to paint you a picture, I'm starting
Paint me a
out.
picture, Thomas.
I just bought my first series breeder animal, you could say, or I'm just looking at taking what I have.
Like Mr. Morph Mixology over there, except he's already doing
You're
it.
ramping up, or you're there, but you want to, like, you feel stuck. I feel stuck. I want to make a difference in the industry and truly, like, make my mark and make it as a breeder, but not just necessarily with money and finances. Where do I even start? And, like, what's the best thing I can do right now to achieve all that?
All right, so let's get into the show content, guys. I've got 3 things. We're going to do 3 this week and 3 next week. We'll do a little bit of a 2-part thing. I would love to hear your guys' input between shows. But let's jump into this now. If you guys have questions, you want to super chat those in, we'll appreciate that. Maybe we'll get our swanky background by the end of the show.
I think we will.
And then we'll have some Q&A time at the end, too, just to, connect with you guys and stuff like that. So my first thing is, execute yesterday. That's I think the biggest.
What do you mean execute yesterday? Is that like sorry you missed the boat because you're in today, and if you're starting it today that means you're too late, or what do you mean?
No, it's this. I think that people dream too much. Dreaming is good. Be a dreamer, have big dreams and stuff like that. But when I say execute yesterday, I'm like, it would be better to have a subpar plan with a lot of emphasis on execution than it would be to have a million plans and never do anything. Raise your hand if you've ever been the cranky guy who had like a really cool invention and then it came out later. This was me. I invented oh gosh, what were those things called? What are the little like old school folding scooters? I think they came out in like the late 90s.
The Razors?
Razor scooter.
You invented the Razor?
I invented the Razor scooter before Razor scooter did. I did. I was like, these roller blades, you put this thing together. I actually had one built. Not as cool. It wasn't all welded aluminum and stuff. But I built a little mini scooter with rollerblade wheels, and I would take it all over the place. At the time, it was like Valencia, California. I'd scoot around the malls and stuff. And then I could pick it up and carry it with me when it was little. And then it was like 6 months after I had built this thing. I also used to take it on a trampoline. That seemed a little crazy now thinking back. But then 6 months later, it comes out in a big way. It's at every Walmart and stuff across the country. And I was like, that's my scooter. They literally made my scooter and are making now millions of dollars off of it. So it wasn't the idea that mattered. It was the execution. I think a lot of times people are like, what about this? Or what about that? Or let me just think this through just right. And I know people that literally, so like, Morph Mixology, shout out to you. You want to put together a Superdwarf breeding package or whatever. I know people that have thought about it so long that if they bought a female in the beginning, it would be ready to breed by now. Like we have stacks of high quality females from, 3-4 generations of known breeding sitting downstairs that this is a good time of year to buy, by the way, because they're all going to have their first birthdays in like January, February, March, April next year. They're literally going to be a year old, no extra value. They're really well established. Personality's great, eating great. You can buy 4 of them and go, right? And then you can begin to adapt and stuff as you go on. So yeah, execute yesterday. Just start down that road.
Take the first step.
Yeah, exactly. So that would be, and then the other part of execute yesterday is kind of like actions speak louder than words, right? You can talk about it. You can have these ideas. It is fun to brainstorm and everything. But those of you guys that have bought animals from us and are working towards breeding things, or even if it's just a pet, but you're building yourself up in the community, whether it's through supporting other people or whatever it is, you realize, like, you understand much better kind of like the life journey of the animal, and then you have something to share more than just ideas. Coming back, you can kind of compare. Like one of my favorite things we have is that like hashtag clutch thing where you can follow along.
Serial numbers.
Yeah, so like we have this girl here or whatever. She's clutch 21016. If you go on Instagram, TikTok, wherever you want to go, Facebook, and you search hashtag CL21016, you'll see all her siblings and everything that are out there right now. And there was tons of different morphs, things like that. They're in different spaces with different people, and it's kind of cool to compare, and you're learning the genetics as you go. So get started later, and I'm not picking on morph mixology or whatever there. I'm just saying, he's like, yes, I want to get into Superdwarfs. Do it. Do it yesterday. Adapt as you go. There's a few things that you want to avoid, all things that we've talked on this channel, who to buy from, not to buy from. Make sure you know your bloodlines. And then if you're ever going to sell babies later, you want to make sure that those are babies from bloodlines that people want, not like, well, I bought it as of this. I got a really good deal on it. You got to watch that kind of stuff.
There's a wealth in our channel. I mean, we have hundreds of videos. There's just a wealth of information that you can act on.
Yep.
You can use it to plan, and there's no answers. It's like, hey, buy something. It's really that first step.
Yeah. Well, and we've given specific things like my top choice from this one is buy this, or you know what I mean, or whatever the case may be. But and then we've also given a lot of philosophy.
Yeah, it's a changing market, and taking that first step.
But you guys know this. You've been watching. You understand. You're here watching.
Yeah, we're not talking about you guys. We're talking about the other guys.
This is the other guys. Well, what I'm saying to you guys though is you know the philosophies. Act now. You know, call tomorrow or whatever. We open up at 9 a.m. You can hit up G.I. Joe. You can tell them what kind of stuff you're interested in, and you can start down that path. We had somebody that texted in, it's a good buddy of mine, who just texted in today, and he was like, listen, it's going to take some doing. I want a trio of those Superdwarf double head albino pieds. Right? That's a pricey, acquisition. They're the first 50% Superdwarf, 100% double head albino pieds. He's like, I need to get on that. He didn't have the money right now or anything, but he's got his plan. He's starting to execute. He's beginning to talk with us, and we're trying to figure out how we can get him set up for his future breeding project. So, all I'm saying is execute yesterday. Start going. Don't keep changing the plan.
Yeah, that's really good. I want to give a special shout out to a couple super chats.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Happened. So thank you for the $10 from the curly haired keeper. He says Mochino. Sorry, Garrett.
You would.
Yeah.
I'm gonna support you and twist the dagger at the same time. Come on.
And then we have Jody Mascaritolo. Jody Mascaritolo. Sorry, Jody, for your name there. Hey, do you guys need any bubble wrap? Mostly joking, but if you need stuff for transporting to shows, sounds like we got our bubble wrap. You need bubble wrap?
I mean, my kids love bubble wrap of all kinds. Pop them and drive your parents crazy.
Negotiate maybe a pallet.
Yeah. I don't know. We use packaging stuff all the time. You guys know we're all about safe shipping stuff. We're constantly trying to innovate that stuff. So, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
we're redesigning some elements in our booth, so maybe we need some stuff like that. Yeah.
Then we have Josh from South Bay Reptiles.
What's
$10.
up, buddy?
Thank you, Josh. He says, I just unboxed the Superdwarf from you. Just wow. Thank you.
That guy's a stud, man. Ready to rock. You're going to have fun with him. I won't spoil the surprise here. You guys can watch South Bay Reptiles. Definitely follow them on Instagram, and you can, stick around, see what they're going to be up to. Big things.
Yup. Somebody said, gotta say, without my husband's support this year, I'd still be dreaming. I won't be getting Dwarf for Superdwarf till next year. I have a hognose breeding set and plenty of ideas for the future. I think that brings up a cool point, is that we're not even talking about just Superdwarfs here.
No,
this applies to literally almost anything in life.
A lot of these points that I'm going through are actually things that I've talked over. Like my buddy Josh McAleese, he makes like charcuterie boards or whatever. Charcuterie boards. Fancy wooden things that you can cut stuff on, and he sells them on Etsy. And so this is more of like make a business out of your passion project, because that's what we've done. And these are just some of the points that have worked for me and things that I think would apply in kind of an entrepreneurial encouragement way. It doesn't even have to be a business where you're trying to make money. If it's just something where you're trying to break in and have an impact there.
And have it maybe pay for itself, or just make it sustainable.
Just don't overthink it. Start to execute. Take your best idea that's very attainable and run towards it. That's point.
Sweet. That's really good. What would you say is your next piece?
Yeah, point number 2 is know where you should spend your money and where you shouldn't.
That's just like budgeting and saying like I'm gonna buy 20 rolls of toilet paper and like that, right?
No, not necessarily. I mean, it could apply all the way down to toilet paper. But like if you're starting out a business, there's a lot of things you can spend your money on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for a lot of people, one of the first things they do is they run out and form an LLC. Maybe you need to do that. Maybe you don't. But you don't actually want to like form an official business too early or too late. You want to get the timing of that just right. But they're just excited because they're like, yes, I'm official. Or they're like, I really need to print myself a t-shirt. Well, I don't know that you need to print yourself a t-shirt right away. That can be fun, but you wouldn't want to, like, let's say, for example, I mean, we were talking about snakes, you know, a minute ago. You definitely, if you're setting up any kind of reptile breeding collection, you definitely don't want to skimp on something like genetics. You need to understand that those first generation animals that you purchase are going to be the foundation for your future. And you want to give that future the best possible chance that you can. So never skimp on things like that. And you can have like a cool logo and a shirt and, you know, cards or magnets that you're giving out to somebody. And that's great. And it gets your name out there. But you're probably going to get your name out there just as much if you are working with somebody that is, you know, like a passionate breeder in your space and they're willing to talk with you. I mean, like we do with you guys in the super chats. You guys are amazing supporters of ours. Thank you very much. Josh would be an example. We just said, go check him out on Instagram. Going to do big things with Superdwarfs. I would think that if no one knew who you were and you were randomly giving stickers away to people who don't know or yeah, like I don't even know if you would know who to give them to, but Josh just got an accidental shout out on a live stream with Out Reptiles because he happened to unbox one of our animals and then super chat to us. You know what I mean? It's just, it wasn't that we were trying to do that. It's just reciprocal.
Josh is just up there, man.
Josh is he knows what's up. It was an accident on my hand, but he totally manipulated me. Thanks, Josh. But no, all I'm saying is, you know, he's got those genetics of his animal now, and it comes from Out Reptiles. So if he's going to be producing, you know, Superdwarfs from Out Reptiles, anybody that follows us is going to see that some of those genetics went over that direction. I shouted out Nathan Katz with the great haircut and the good job breeding this girl right now, and now people are like, Nathan Katz, who's that guy? You know, and I think that alone goes a lot farther than having the LLC, the shirts, the stickers, things like that. So figure out your priorities. I would, you know, like one of the things that we started with was let's do all the localities. These 7 localities I want to work with. Some of them have been literally next to impossible to accumulate a breeding, you know, base around. There was no market for something like a Karompa. Nobody really even knew what they were until we put out that video with like Bart Simpson going, "Hi, Karompa," you know what I mean? Karompa.
I weirdly like remember that.
Yeah, see, I mean, so that worked and it kind of kicked it off. But I had already spent like years trying to get them, tons of research, a lot of money, and a bunch of time trying to get these animals established. And now they've bred for us. They're doing successful. You know, everything's been great with it. But I didn't skimp there. But an example of like where maybe you shouldn't spend your money. Can you grab me one of our boxes real quick and just toss it to me? I want to show you this. People ask us about our shipping boxes all the time, and they're cute. You know, they're nice boxes. They do a really good job. And I never really can give them an answer because if I told you where I bought my boxes, it's not going to help you. Because most people are like, hey, you know, I love your boxes. I want to have a business that looks cool. I want to copy your boxes. How do I do that? And my answer would be, okay, you need to go spend, I think it's a minimum order of like $5,000 on the pre-cut foam and a minimum of like $8,500 on the boxes. And that's not really going to help you right now. If you're taking $13,000 to start a business, don't buy the boxes. Don't spend your money there to have the, you know, nice, here, you got the snake cam. We can show the box.
It's a little big for the snake cam. Scoot it to your right.
Yeah.
No, more. There you go.
There you go. You got the sticker and the fluff. I got a keychain in there. It's very nice, but this is not something, and this is a big part, like, you know, Josh just did an unboxing of his animal and saw the way that we package stuff and everything like that. But this is our like hatchling shipping box or whatever. This is not where I would spend my money in the beginning. Now, I would definitely make sure that I'm spending money with like immaculately safe reptile shipping, and I would love to give my customers an unforgettable first experience. That was very important to me. But in the beginning, when I started my business, I bought standard boxes.
Mm-hmm.
I literally I bought boxes that were not for reptiles. So I wanted to buy a different box, but they were standardized boxes. They were black. They weren't printed. And then I printed stickers and stuck them on there because I can buy 300 stickers from Vistaprint or Sticker Mule. Or
what was your like main strategy behind why'd you go cheap in the beginning and then more expensive later on?
Well, I didn't want to buy massive quantity. I went, like, if you go back and look at our old logo boxes, still people kept them. They were so unique and interesting to them that they kept them as collectibles. But I didn't buy $5,000 worth of pre-cut foam. I went to Home Depot and I bought the 14.5-inch wide, 48-inch long bats of foam, and I got a turkey carver after 20 different ways of cutting foam efficiently. Those little back and forth turkey carving knives proved to be the most effective. And I sat there and I cut every piece of foam myself as I packaged the animal. So they had, if anything, more love and effort into them than this design. But I wasn't worried about spending money on having custom printed boxes. I still brought the box experience, but I had to do it by investing my time and not my money.
I'm going to say that's the definition of what being a sole proprietor is. And a solo entrepreneur is just...
Yeah, you got to like lace up your boots and just get out there, and do that stuff. So I brought the boxing experience, but I didn't spend the money on it. I crafted my time in it. And then after several years of shipping different like kind of creative packaging ways, I arrived at my final design. And then I said, you know what, I'm going to invest in this. And we're moving enough snakes now that it makes sense for me to buy a whole bunch of boxes.
So you reached a scale where you could afford to buy a bunch of boxes. It was still pricey, but you were like, this is worth it because this is what 99% of people see as Reach Out Reptiles is the box. For 99% of people that buy snake, their only contact with us.
This box probably cost me the same as the boxes I used in the beginning, but I put no effort into this box whatsoever. Someone else did it for me. I gave them the design, all of the stuff. They printed it for me.
And now it's a wise
the original boxes, I had to buy, 10 or 20 at a time because I'm just starting out, and I had to completely, insulate, package, and do everything myself for those boxes. I was figuring out what's the cheapest way to get a sticker that looks good. What's the best way to do that? So where you're spending your money and the priority is kind of a big deal. I think a lot of people like spending their money on things that make them feel good about their business when their business is not necessarily, even making them any money or accomplishing anything for their customers yet. So focus there first on what you're going to do. So if it's a snake business, snake genetics, good genetics is a big one. Like I said, piggybacking off someone that's established, when you say, hey, I got this from Reach Out Reptiles, if you like what we stand for, then you get all that in your animal because you paid, whatever, because you went with us and you paid for the right animal from the beginning. But if you're like, I don't know, I bought this as a Superdwarf, I fed it a lot and it stayed kind of small, so I think maybe it's a Coyote or something like that. You're not going to have the ability to sell your animals the way that you want to later on.
And there's a lot of people doing that, so you kind of just...
Yeah, and or you lie, and now you're
doing bad business.
Exactly. Wouldn't it be nice to just jump in and say, well, here's the last 4 generations of history, and here's a hashtag online where you can follow his mother, grandmother, and everything else.
So you'd say, like, just to tie up that point, is like good way of dealing with that almost on that side of things is spending money to make money where you need to spend money.
Yeah.
Spend money to make money where you need to spend money.
That's it. Just spending them on the right things. Don't chintz on the quality of your product ever. You know what I mean? As far as like your name and your logo and all that kind of stuff. Or there's other things. Toilet paper is probably something, I don't know. You use the toilet paper around here. Are we going too cheap as a business on toilet paper? Should we get the fluffy quilted 4-ply stuff, or are we doing all right?
Well, I would say invest in the nice stuff until I get health benefits.
So yeah, I mean, but my employees, that would definitely be something that we would invest in, heavily, because we want to have good employees.
You want us to be happy.
Well, you guys create the product for my customer.
Every
That
touch point.
cool little YouTuber-y little clip you just showed us is because of my investment in you.
Wow,
So
thank you. I'm touched.
You're one of the important things, Thomas. If that makes you feel better, you're not like an Orange Glow. You're like my Mochino there, buddy, that everybody likes.
Wow, that is a backhanded compliment. I want to give a special shout out to South Reptiles again.
What's up, buddy?
I don't make stickers, I make reptiles.
Well, yeah, and that's exactly it. If you're a sticker company, obviously you want to have like high quality printers and paper.
Adeline Robinson, you make reptile stickers.
Yeah, well, and she has the designs, but I want to pick up her sticker and be like, that has quality.
The coolest stickers I have on my laptop right now.
Right, from Adeline Robinson. See, here we're shouting people out again. So
sweet.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. People are.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just random paying attention to the chat. Somebody wants a Karompa, wants Joe to respond to their email. That everyone's saying there really are no Karompas available because.
Yep. Currently, we have pure Kalatoas available. Karompas are like a waiting list. There's literally only 2 breeding wild-caught pairs right now.
Yep.
And that's now down to 1.
Grab you a Kalatoa. Next best thing.
Kalatoa male.
The next best thing is still a great thing. We got another 10 bones. Thank you so much.
I was going to say waiting list, though. You can definitely jump on if it has to be.
Hit up Joe for the wait list. Yep. South Bay Reptiles at the 10 bones. Shout out ROR and the team for being amazing. Kissy emoji.
Thanks, Josh.
Thanks, Josh.
Yeah, so that actually kind of brings me to point 3, the piggybacking and stuff. This is my third point. You want to be in community in whatever space you're getting into.
So, like, indoctrinate your neighbors so you have friends. Like, make their kids hold your snakes so that 10 years down the line, they'll, like, clean your snake cages for you.
I love your side definitions of what my points is in. So, I say be in community. So indoctrinate your neighbors and force them to...
Start a cult.
Yeah, that's what I meant. No, what I meant was you're getting into the community. So like one thing, we built kind of the Superdwarf niche into a larger community than it originally was. And so I knew that we would have, my goal was to have a large impact in that community. I knew that that's where I was going to spend my time because I quit my job and I was working here. So I was like, this is now my workspace. People that are online, random commenters on Facebook, things like that. So I want this to be a nice place for myself to work. I've got to build up that community. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Invest in your environment. Invest in your immediate surroundings.
Right. So you were talking about Adeline Robinson with the art and the stickers and stuff. She is actually designed. We have logo designs from her. The one that says "Stay 6 feet back, I bite." That was a kind of fun little COVID design that we did. And then I think there's some, different mugs and shirts and stuff on our website that have her design on there. She always donates her art to the U.S. Arc auction, and then she Vanna Whites it herself by standing up there. She'll explain the piece. She always donates big. She gives items that go for $5,000 and $10,000.
It's always
regularly.
Like one of the crown jewels of the auction is always, what is Adeline Rob donate?
Yeah, almost every time. And so she's built herself into the community through giving. She's giving to US Arc, which supports the reptile community going forward. It's funny, she doesn't even sell reptiles. The whole right to keep reptiles thing. She's an artist. She draws them. And the art based on the reptiles is not trying to be regulated by anybody. So she doesn't have to do that. She does it because it's the right thing to do, which I really respect her for. And then she's very positive towards people. You know what I mean? She is never putting people down. She's not like, oh, these other artists, their stuff is junk or whatever. She's excited about what she does. She shares how she does it. She promotes it. And I think it's very easy to get caught up in online drama in literally any community in the world. But I think if you're trying to have a difference, what you want to do is be in community with other people. One of the first things that I did, for example, with the Superdwarf breeding, was I went to people who were working with those 7 localities that I was interested in, all the dwarf and Superdwarf retics, and I called them up and I told them what I respected about them. and we chatted about, like, for me, I a little bit of a nerd on the history of all their bloodlines. So I remember the first time I talked to, for example, Richard Bilbo.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he had picked up these animals at an auction also, but, you know, coincidentally was following my advice before I gave it. But I had been, you know, around, just kind of not participating in breeding, but geeking out on them from afar for like the last 4 generations that his animals came from. So it was really fun getting into the history of that. He knew some things, I knew some things. We were kind of comparing notes and having that for 2 hours.
You're both like snake nerds at the deepest, like Superdwarf bloodline nerds.
Super early on, you can go back on my channel and watch me herping in Phoenix with Eric Lee. He wasn't coming to the shows and stuff as much. He wasn't really vending. He had smaller numbers of Superdwarfs that he was breeding, but the stuff he was doing was on point. This is somebody should have been my competition. But I actually took the time to go fly out and herp in his local area with them, stayed with them and stuff like that. And we just sat around and talked about what we wish the future of the Superdwarf industry would become. Now we work together in a lot of ways, and both of us are trying to build that community up. So the community is really important. Building it up, keeping it positive, you know, and trying to just, I don't know, be helpful for other people that are there.
We actually have an example of someone who's doing the exact opposite right now. Says, we're glorified hobbyists. It's insulting to us that own and run a company for someone to falsely claim otherwise. Saying we don't actually have an LLC and all this jazz. That is an example of how to not be in community.
They're saying somebody that doesn't have an LLC shouldn't do that?
I think they're telling us that. It's a hater.
We do have an LLC.
I know it's crazy. I just was like sitting there on like.
Yeah, my point was that you don't start with the LLC.
So I'm not even gonna say your name because I don't want to give you a platform, but we do have a business and it is an authentic business. So.
Yeah, well, and part of that too, the same thing is like when you are building that stuff up and you want to get into it, becoming legitimate is not about, I don't know how do I put this? It kind of reminds me of like high school playground bullying. I'm legitimate if I can argue with the best.
Or the loudest, or like in that microcosm of the universe.
And that doesn't make you legitimate.
No, not at all.
But by the other token, like I said, you know, and this is something that a lot of us do, we get stickers and shirts and an LLC and we say, okay, that makes us legitimate. But I think you almost don't have to worry about making yourself legitimate. You will either be or not be based on your actions.
I mean, a kid selling lemonade on the street is just as legitimate of a business owner as like the guy who's selling, like who has a store and a brick and mortar store in a mall. Like,
well, and like you guys might remember
at its principle.
Yeah, and you guys might remember like Riley, my daughter, used to help train and give a little extra TLC and everything like that to our animals as they went out. She charged money for it. She did a good job. She would communicate with her customers and all that stuff and got great positive reviews. She was like 6 years old when she was doing that. As a father, I think that those legitimate life lessons will teach her principles that she can take on the rest of her life. And that is going to dictate how she handles herself as an adult. So, I don't even see the screen or whatever, but people, like I said, it's really easy to get involved in drama and stuff online and try to legitimize yourself there. But I don't think you have to do that. I don't think you have to try to legitimize yourself at all. You're a business if you are, making money, you're providing a product for people, you're helping them, you are, paying taxes, what do you call
You're refuting one of their points way earlier. Ashley is, I don't think, in the chat anymore because he deleted. He said, does not have an LLC that claims to be a real company. This place is textbook tax fraud. Pay taxes, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if maybe they're not actually talking about us.
No, they're talking about it. I had to think about it for a
while.
Well,
so then here's my bonus point. If you're going to insult someone, use truth. It hurts more.
Yeah, exactly.
If you say things that aren't true, you're just wrong.
It's just kind of funny.
Yeah. Yeah, so like for us, for example, are we a glorified hobbyist? First of all, I think there isn't anything wrong with being a hobbyist. I think that's great.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? If you're the kind of person that glorifies yourself or puts yourself down, that's one thing.
Yep.
But I would draw a line between hobbyist and reptile business when that becomes, I mean, you could do it anywhere. You can have a starting business that's like a side job. I guess it's as soon as you make money. People frame that first dollar. They put it on the wall. They're conducting business, you know, and eventually you start, it's like, here's your first dollar. I remember, so that's a significant event for people. One of the most significant events for me, I mean, it's just one after the next. Here's your first dollar. There was a moment for me where I was like, I need to leave my other job and see if I can make a living with just these animals. That was terrifying, by the way. And so I would love to encourage anybody that's considering doing that stuff. Run the numbers, see how it works, see when you're ready to do that. That was a terrifying moment. Another one was when I hired my first employee. That was just as scary. And now, like we have like 8 people on the books right now. We're actually switching over to a new CPA and payroll. Most glorified hobbyists probably don't do that stuff. But also, that's not what makes you legitimate, you know? Yeah. But my point is that first employee was more terrifying to me to like, oh, I have to hire someone else and be responsible for them as well, financially, using reptiles. That was a scary thing for me. That was as scary, even scarier than, I don't know. I think it was scarier for me to hire Aiden part-time to come clean my animals at close to minimum wage 1 day a week than it was to buy this building. I don't know if that's crazy or not, but like the hurdles that you face in the beginning are small, but they're no less significant to you. So I think that some of these principles will help guide you through and keep you in community. You okay over there, Thomas?
Yeah, he said something else. He said something else, and he's just wrong at this point. So I mean, I'm gonna say your name, Zachary. If you have anything else to add, the floor is there. You can tune in to the next show and debate it some more. This is actually really fun. But I don't know. Said if you want to sell 100K snakes, do it right and legally. Simple. I mean, you're not wrong. Do it legally.
Yes, do everything correct and legally. Yeah, but I don't know what's going on there, but yeah,
I just think it's
definitely
fun.
Do these things legally.
Oh yeah. Well, it is. It's 6:56.
Do you have any Q&A or anything like that? Anything else going on in the chat?
People are gonna hammer it up in the chat. They're just they're all basically like describing their where they're at. Yeah, it's the hobbyist that is 99% of the community. It's equally as important. They're the backbone.
1,000%.
Educators.
Well, and that's where I'm saying, like, if I were to draw the line, it's when you make your first dollar there. You're now making an effort to be professional and bring that in.
We got 10-bone super chat from South Bay Reptiles.
Woo.
Thank you so much.
What's up, buddy?
To the hater, you remind me of a clown ball python. I will neither confirm nor deny. I will leave that.
I don't even know what that means, Josh.
I will leave that between you and Josh.
That's pretty funny.
Thank you for the $10, Josh. Do we have a snake to name?
We do. We have a snake to name.
Do you have any last closing thoughts on what you were saying? Oh, actually, you know what? If you do, people just have to tune in next week or next show.
Well, we have 3 more points that we want to get into next time. Let's see who picks the name. I think Zach should stick around and try to name it because it would be.
I would love that.
Humorous to me if he won the snake naming contest.
We're not yet. Anyway, I think we have a fun approach to haters. We don't deplatform them. We just want to communicate, and then when they
we're gonna name this snake, and then we're gonna get into some more coffee stuff for patrons over there.
Yes.
So all right, so here we have it. Oh, I had a story to tell. Forgot what it was though. What was the fun story? Oh, I was gonna mess with. So why did I hold her back? So Thomas, I'll explain the story while the names start to pour in. Do you want to tell us what we're doing here?
Yeah. So this is the part of the show where you name a snake. You guys comment your name suggestions. I'll read them off. Garrett will pick one, and that snake will forever till we have its name from you. It'll be a special moment.
Okay. Very cool. So I loved this clutch, even though they are, quote unquote, only 50% Kalatoa. This is a great example of, we used a dwarf and superdwarf cross male, loaded with different incomplete dominant genetics and some recessive ones as well. And we ran it to a very, very high percentage, high quality tiny female, and they turned out amazing. They got all the genetic morphs and stuff from dad, and they got all this small size from mom. So great selective breeding. Good job, Nathan Katz, G.I. Joe. And because it was a good bloodline, any of the females from this are going to make kind of iconic breeders for the future. So my friend over at Freedom Breeder, it was actually Jerica. You've seen in the videos. I'm going to pick on her for a minute because she knows that I love her. But my friend Jerica was like, I like these super dwarfs. She was hanging out with us at a show and seeing this stuff. Where do you want them?
That way, forward
This
a little
way?
bit. There you. Oh, it's perfect.
There we go.
There you go.
So Jerica was like, I want a foundational female that's like, not too expensive, but I don't want to skimp on the good size genetics. And because she's 100% double het snow, I was like, this girl's got a lot going on, superdwarf wise, albino wise, anery wise, in a nice small package. And I wanted to see her get that because I thought it would be really cool. So I held on to her for a long time, and Jerica never came through, which is okay because I ended up falling in love with this girl. But the great injustice is that she does not have a name.
We have a lot of name suggestions.
Okay, let's hear them.
All right. Starting at the top, we got Domino, Tizzy, Secret Santa, Grimaldi after the clown joke. Little Lady Clown, LLC. I don't think that's a name suggestion. Polly Pocket, Java, Jello, Biafra, or just Jello. Olivia, Kitty Girl, Callie, Jellybean, Oogie Boogie, Jameis, Paula, Spooky, Tiny, Bahama Mama, Monsato, Tinkerbell, Sadie, Green Machine, Peanut, Frappuccino, Trinket, Coffee, Snow, Jerry, Artoy, J-Loss, My Second Frappuccino, Jericho, Cheesy Poof, Fredzilla, Snickerdoodle, Jigsaw, Cheryl, Layla, Sally with 1L.
There's a lot of good ones in there, guys.
This is a great run.
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones. I'm going to go with Jericho because it will remind me of Jerica forever without actually naming it Jerica. That was a good one. Close runner-ups, I would say, would be like Polly Pocket. And then what was the very first one? I love that one too. No, the very, very first one.
Was the very
Oh, what was the next one?
Izzy?
No.
Secret Santa, Grimaldi.
That was before those. You had a different one. Yeah.
Uh,
Okay, it was all those. I love those too. But we're going to go with Jericho.
where is
So who won Jericho?
Say Jericho? I don't think anyone said
You're
Jericho.
the one reading the names.
I'm trying
here,
to
buddy.
figure out where it came from.
Oh, man, I'm feeling like less of a legitimate business now.
I feel like did someone say Jericho? Who said Jericho?
Who said it? Are you missing some comments?
Hold on. No. Hold on. There we go. I found it. I was like, did you just make that up in your head? And you're like, oh, I like this name. I see it. Damien. Congratulations, Damien.
All right, so what do they get? What do they get? So first of all, that name is going on this girl for all of time. Thank you so much for helping me name her. That'll make me giggle about Jerica was supposed to have her one day, and she's never going to get her now.
Yes. So here's our new great solution. Instead of emailing me to get a photo, because will just mean you never get a photo, unfortunately. Garrett, will you scoot that a little bit further forward, like in the frame? There you go.
I can't see the frame.
Oh,
Any more further
there
forward,
you
she's
go.
going to fall off
So
the desk.
turn your phone sideways or vertically. Take a screenshot. Put that on your story and tag us, and we'll shout you out on Instagram if you want.
What are they tagging? Is it hashtag SD?
No, they're just adding us at Reach Out Reptiles, and we will give you a shout out. And you can mention that you named that girl on the Superdwarf Show.
There
It's
it
the
is.
on the policy of take a picture to last longer. But that's all the time we have for today. Make sure if you're on Patreon.
Wait, what about the giveaway?
what?
Jump on
Giveaway.
the giveaway. Jump on there real quick.
If you're on Patreon.
Go check out Cold Blooded Caffeine's gift package. $140 gift package. 4 bags of coffee. You can pick any one you want. You can use them to start being in community. You can say, hey, check it out. I bought coffee with your name on it from whoever they were.
Here,
But
smile for a sec. If you want to screenshot this is a better photo. Lift the snake up. It's on you now.
Jeez.
Here's your moment. A little photo opportunity.
All right.
There you go. All
there
right.
she is.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in today. That was a blast.
Guys, after this, all patron, we're going to jump on over there. We're going to move over to the other side of the studio and talk about our stuff next. Someone is going to take home that awesome sponsored coffee gift, and it's going to happen on Patreon right now. We'll see you guys there.
Sweet.